Hello everyone, my name is Chaplain Dr.Francisca Etuokwu-Benyeogor, and I want to welcome you to this chaplaincy class. It's going to be an interesting class. I know that we have gone over it, a little bit of it on Zoom because of time, because too many people weren't able to log into Zoom because of the activities that are at work, their telephone or connect. There was not much connection. That is why they couldn't make it to the Zoom class. But anyway, I just had to do this little video and to get everything working, as we often have to be meeting on Zoom. This is master's level, and your code for this class is OC1717. So we're going to run through it. I'll still have to send this particular thing. I'm going to run through to your email so you have it. Upon completion of this course, the student will have to face the reality of knowing generally what the chaplaincy is, who is a chaplain, and what the role they play, and some other things that is pertaining to your level right now. This course has to do really with those that have compassion to really serve beyond the walls of the church. And it's about reaching people and impacting life. And the course description: wherever people live, wherever people work, there are opportunities for chaplainship. And the rationale for this course, chaplaincy is a legitimate form of ministry. Because I know most of us are in ministry, most of us are pastors, so all belong to the fivefold ministry. Most of us are just ministers, as we want to leave the name like that. And for this course, will help you to be able to develop an understanding on how chaplaincy has come to exist or come to be established. And this course will also allow students to explore the role and have the opportunity to see how a chaplain serves. The overall objective of this course is for students to understand the duties of a chaplain, who they are, what they do, in order for them to be able to communicate effectively to people. When we put people, that means their clients or customer, as we put it, or patients. Now, the course objective for this class, by the end of this course or this section, the student will be able to understand the role and the function of chaplain, acquire good knowledge as spiritual work. Like this particular chaplaincy course is a spiritual work entirely. Explain that the chaplaincy as a broad thing that we need to know the different aspects, and also comprehend the value of spiritual care as a long-term result. And it's in 3 parts. We have it as an introduction, orientation, and specialization of a chaplaincy, or of a chaplain, as you put it. So we're looking at this. We have to have talked about the history of chaplaincy, how it came to being, and we talked about the one of the United States, how it was bettered by a prayer being presented in the Congress. When Congress wanted to meet, there was a prayer that sparked up, and that took place September 7, 1774. I know you have heard about chaplain, of a chaplain, or somebody have mentioned to you about chaplain. So you read it anyway, but we will get to have opportunity to look at it closer. I have the opportunity to go through the training myself, because it's something I really needed to do more in the community. And just not doing part as an apostle or as a pastor, but something that I needed to know what to do. And that's the area of chaplain. You have to be really trained. You just don't jump into the field as a pastor. You have to be trained. And that does it for the history of chaplaincy in America and Europe, how it came to be established. Now I want you to go back to the things I've already put in their resources. It's already in your email. Please go through it, and you're able to get more in that area. Now, looking at the introduction area, I mentioned that it's a field work. It's actually in the field. It's not what just sit down. You have to go out, you have to do things, get in society, get yourself involved, know what's going on about people. So what is chaplaincy? If we look at the definition of what is chaplaincy. It's an expression of a ministry that places a chaplain inside various settings, and we'll look at the various settings as we run down the notes that we have, and we'll say right here that we tend to want a church where we'll go to wanting a service, but actually I tell you, a service outside the wall of the churches. It's outside there, people outside. Not everybody have the faith to come into church, but we can meet them, address them, bring them to church or whatever area they want to serve. In different regions have Islamic area of the some people serve so many other things, but meeting people where they are and imparting them right there. It's a ministry that have to be present. You have to be available, you have to be present. What do we mean by being present? Just you be there for them. Be there. When somebody is bereaved, they don't need you to come and be talking, just talk. You have to be quiet to listen to them. Even when you're just there, they are quiet, you are quiet. You are actually playing a role of comfort right there. It doesn't mean you have to just say something. Well, being quiet or being silent is a speech. It's a language, as we may put it. It's a bridge between the church and the secular world. Secular world is where you're working. Secular world is where you do your activities, do business. Secular world is where you go to business. That's what we call it secular world. And the other one, spiritual world, the Christian area. That's between this chaplaincy builds the bridge between two of them. You know, you focus on people with needs. People are with needs. So I tell you, some people might have money, just needs just somebody to listen to their cry, somebody to listen to what they just have to say. It makes sense, somebody that will understand them, and that's why we play the role. Just sitting still, listening to what they have to say, and talk when you need to talk, and talk with skill, talk with understanding. In that area, it's a call for God's people to serve and give and get engaged in the community. Get engaged in the community. The community needs you. Provide to those that are in need, in critical need, their crisis, and in addition, so much carried away with addition, just need you to just listen. Somebody doesn't understand, but I believe you do, and that's how they see themselves. But I tell you that as long as just stay there and just be there for them, they know that they have a companion, they know they have a guide, they know that somebody understands and loves them for who they are. United States, I want you to look into that area. I've given you that material, so go back and read it. What does a chaplain serve? Serving the community in different areas of communities. A hospital is one of them. Healthcare system, criminal and juvenile institutions. Have the business and industry. Industry in quote can be so many things, but you fill up that area of industry and you look into the mean and see how it goes. And performs wedding, funeral rites, administer communion, deliver spiritual messages, offer prayers at the public meetings where it is necessary. Prayers are being offered. Provide regular counseling. It will not be an in-depth one, but it is regular. We have to so what is the work of a chaplain? The role of a chaplain is to seek to bring healing through reconciliation and liberating a person from isolation of feelings from God and of man. The place you have to just stay there and go through what they are going to be, have empathy with them, you know, something you just have to sit around with them, help them, guide them, teach them with the intent to learn. Individual have an encounter with Christ, teach them, guide them with intent to lead the individual or the person or persons to Christ. Walk with them through the valleys. It might be in the lowest state in life. Walk with them right where they are. I'm working for them. What is required of a chaplain? Good conduct. I cannot emphasize that enough. Good conduct. Dress well. Dress moderately in activity you do. Ability to listen. Listening is quite a skill. You talk less, listen more. Must be trustworthy. Be trustworthy in your dealings with them. Not what they see you do in area of when I tell you something, what I tell you will be heard somewhere else. So in that aspect, just be truthful. Be a trustworthy person when they talk with you. Make sure that or what they're dealing with you is very, very confidential. How do we prepare for chaplaincy? By using our gift. We prepare our gifts, prepare ourselves to use our gift to bless the person we are dealing with. Build on your strength. Build on your strength. Then separation, build on your strength. The strength might be the ability to just be patient with somebody. That's a very wonderful gift. And in that other area, we tend to look at focus on areas like know the 3 C's. A chaplain counsels in confidence and provide comfort and care for the patient. Who is a chaplain? And to find who is a chaplain is someone that is specialized in a certain setting, so like pastor, rabbi. Mention those ones. Is a clergyman in charge of a chaplain, or is a place of where he can officiate, offer spiritual and emotional need for others. So looking at that, what types of chaplain, we'll look into those areas. Then where does a chaplain serve, which I've mentioned before, and we'll look at what is the work or the role of a chaplain. Seek to bring healing, help to guide and teach, walk with the person, which I've already mentioned. What is the role, the task of a chaplain? We'll look at it in almost in 3 dimensions, in your level, and master's level, the pastoral role, the prophetic role, and the priestly role. In the pastoral role, standing in there, being present as what the pastor should do. You go to a pastor for counseling. Another thing that the pastor is being there listening, and at the end, gives you counsel through the scriptures, and pray along with you. But in the area of chaplain, it does play a little bit like that role, but what you need to do in that one is to be able to follow the policy of your setting, and the same time of how you're being trained. It's very just a balance in the two. And prophetic, declare, preach, teach, leading a religious service in a chaplain or in Bible studies. So look at what is required of a chaplain, which I've already mentioned. Specialization, somebody like you, I don't know what area you like to serve, maybe family system ministry, maybe in a spiritual development area. You look into it, and the difference between pastor and a chaplain, please, I want you to do that as an assignment. Go ahead and look out for those things. So pretty much that's what we have talked about. And take your time to go through all the questions, answer them as much as the materials have been given to you. Then you submit the materials by Monday is our due date, and I look forward to seeing you or hearing from you. We will have another time, either by call or somehow, to lay some other foundation on this particular course, or go through just answering questions. With that, I thank those ones that were able to log in at the time they were available. And thank you.